All right. It is 1 minute after, which means it's time to begin. Y'all ain't ready, but here we go. So, if you are drinking, please drink responsibly. And again, thank you for coming back to Spiffy Talks. I will also be starting up my Patreon account, which will have links in the descriptions of all of my videos. I'm going to go back and put them in for each of the videos before. If you want to support the channel, which would be lovely, honestly, because, drinks are expensive. And if you happen to be in the Atlanta to Athens area, or travel these ways, and you feel you have a subject or subject matter you would like to talk on and, come on the show and we drink, by all means, send a message, direct message, and we can communicate and pick a topic for you to speak on. I don't really care what the topic is as long as it's, excuse me, with some form of intelligence. I don't really bar people from talking about what they want to, or have a view on. Just remember, the world will judge you, not me. So, continuing on. Now, we did just do a video on the Sweetheart, or auxiliary organizations, which I know for a fact a lot of people did not understand, and probably still don't, even after my video. Whatever. I did what I could. I tried to, educate you. So, now, I think it's only right. We've talked about, you know, the goodness and why potentially go through whatever you might go through in the paperwork process, member intake process to join an organization. We talked about the other organizations that people misunderstand that's connected or used to be connected to that organization. We talked about why I left the side of my organization that I am still a proud brother and member of. So now, I believe we should be going into the people who fake claim, the perps, the perpetrators who pretend to be a member of a particular organization or multiple organizations. And this is a hotbed topic. I know that this is not something that those who are typically Greek will address, especially not publicly like I can. Again, I'm not Greek, so I don't worry about getting in trouble from nationals or anything like that, because for me, there is no nationals in the MPHC that will come down on me for speaking on the subject. And you might be surprised to learn, some of you out there who are not Greek, that there are definitely people who pretend to be members of organizations. And it's not like they're just pretending to say, hey, I pledged in whatever year. They go all in. They buy Nelia. They buy jackets. They buy shirts, tikis, license plates, keychains, rings. You name it, they buy it. I've even come across people who have gone as far as to get branded to try to say that they are a member of an organization. What? Like, the absurdity of this is it's very high to me. I don't understand why somebody would try to fake claim an organization. If you're not a member of that organization, don't claim to be. If you have true love and passion or desire to be part of that organization, then work your hardest to get your GPA up, your standards up, your recommendations up, your paperwork up, and the money it costs to do the paperwork and turn it in, and get the respect of the members of that organization and join. If you don't. Now, as I've said in a previous video, I believe that my biological father is a perp. Now, I could be wrong. He might be legitimate. I don't know. I don't care that much to try to. I at one point I did want to find out. I did want to reach a member of the college he claimed to have come from, and that he pledged into. But I couldn't remember the college that he claimed. and I didn't care that much to try to reach him to get that answer, because I did actually try to reach him one time and ask him, and he just kind of like brushed the subject off because he knew at this point that I happened to be in my organizations, um, and I'm I'm the kind of guy who's a bit more vocal about perps and people doing wrong. I have a unique viewpoint on what is fair and not fair and justice. So I don't stand for that kind of foolishness. Now, case in point, I'm gonna give it to you in the form of a story. This may or may not be a true story. Yeah. So hypothetically, this entire story is going to have to be under the cloak of hypothetically. So we'll go ahead and just say that this is not a true story. So first and foremost, I respect, and I need you to understand this. I respect members of each organization for the simple fact that no matter what reason you joined your organization, you're still there. You're still doing what you need to do, and hopefully, you're making everything better than the way it was when you first got there. You've brought more and added more to your organization and to your community once you joined, and continuously do so. Okay. So, with that blanket understanding that I do honestly respect everybody, I have my preferences of organizations over others. Okay, and it's a very blanket preference. There's one particular color. It's weird that it worked out that way, but there's one particular color that if, and I'm talking strictly for fraternities, if you have that color, chances are you are an organization that I have more respect for. And I don't, it's weird that it worked out that way. I honestly don't. I stopped and thought about it one day. I was like, oh, they have this color, and they have this color, and they have this color. And I like all of these organizations. This one, and this one, not as much. So, and that's just my personal situation. So, well, that does kind of pinpoint who I'm referring to, or the color anyway. But that's not the point. Now, as I said, I do definitely respect, and I actually have had some great, great brothers, and still have technically, in each organization that I truly respect, and would, I ain't gonna say I jump in front of a bullet. I would casually walk and try to push them out the way of the bullet, but I ain't gonna jump in front of it. That's just kind of stupid. Um, I'd also run. I'd run and push them out the way. I'm not going to jump in front of the bullet, but I would push them out the way. Um, so yeah, and mind you, not just my brothers in that organization. I have friends who are not my brothers that are in these organizations as well, and they're great people too. Um, the laughing, joking kid. One of my other stories happened to be dealing with. Never mind. This ain't the time for that. So, okay. Now, I believe, as I said, I believe my father's a perp. And for this story, I knew a guy who claimed to have been a member of a particular fraternity. Let's say, you know what, I'm not going to, because then you'll know exactly what I'm referring to, and then that could lead to more trouble. So let's say he claimed to be a member of Cameras R Us. Okay? So he claimed to be a member of Cameras R Us. And he bought shirts for Cameras R Us. He bought keychains for Cameras R Us. And he bought the license plate decal for Cameras R Us. But I mean, the stuff he bought, he wasn't like wearing the shirt in public. He would just have it hanging up on the wall, buy candles and stuff. Now, at this point, he and I were friends. We were friends when we first met. I didn't know that he was perping at the time. I thought that he was 100% legitimate. Well, I'm sorry. at the very beginning, he never spoke or said anything about being in an organization. And again, I was very vocal during these years about how I felt about different organizations. So I didn't hide it. But because this is going out to the world, I don't want to cause any issue or drama. So I'm not going into that right now. If you want to know personally, send a message. I'll see what I can do. So it wasn't until a few months in that all of a sudden he started claiming to be a member of Cameras R Us. Now, I happen to like all members of organizations on a respect level at least. But at this time, I was not a big fan of Cameras R Us. They were fun to be around at times, but they just didn't stand for what I thought a organization should stand for. They weren't doing what I thought they should be doing. And again, this at this time I was not a member of any organization whatsoever. So I was just strictly a GDI that happened to see a lot of things behind closed doors. So we go on, and I ended up leaving. Remember, I told you I was staying in the last video I was telling you about the auxiliary household where all the women would happen to be in the sweetheart organization. I was living with them, but then when things kind of soured, I left and moved across the street and stayed with him. Because I was house hopping. It was a crazy time. Again, I said I was doing some roguish stuff back in those days. Um, so I moved in with him, and he knew without a shadow of a doubt that I don't care for Cameras R Us. I don't go to their parties. I don't kick it with them like that. The few friends I have in Cameras R Us, we just never talk about Cameras R Us. Period. We just talk as friends, and that's it. So what happened was all of a sudden he, started saying, "Yo, I'm a member of Cameras R Us," and he went and he got, those basic little items at first, and nobody seemed to catch on or notice him because he wasn't actually from the school we were attending. Okay, he actually transferred to that school from a different school, which wasn't that far away, mind you, not far away at all. So what goes on is he gets more and more bold because there's three of us staying in this apartment. Okay, it's him, it's me, and another guy who never did college. He, was just making better for himself the street way. So he was getting a job and just working his way up. So he didn't understand Greeks at all, and I understood but was not a part of. And then this guy was fake claiming to be one. So we would, every once again there'll be a topic or a conversation based on, me sorting through photos and stuff. Because again, I was the Greek photographer. So he'd come and say, "Oh, look at my frat right there, and look at my bro this, and look at this and this and this." And he started trying, and the other roommate, he would be like, "What's going on? Like, what is this? I don't understand." And so I would try to explain it to him, what he was looking at and what he was seeing, to try to, encourage him to go to college and see it firsthand. And this guy, the roommate, the perp, would turn around and say, "Oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not right. Blah, 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 blah." Excuse me? Did you just say what I said wasn't right? Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Let's try this again. You're telling me Cameras R Us wasn't really started in Japan? Nope. It was really started in China. You're a fool. Like, oh, well, and the founders weren't really people who knew anything about cameras? Nope. Like, I will stab you in the neck with a fork, but I don't really like Cameras R Us, so I don't really care. That's not my business. I just turned to the roommate and was like, "Look, I don't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. That ain't right." So And to annoy me, this took time. This wasn't just like over the span of a week or two. This was like months. He got more and more and more bold about just claiming to be a member of Cameras R Us, to the point that he started wearing like a shirt with a basic design on it underneath his jacket. So the jacket would be closed in the event that he saw like a member of that organization coming by. But when they left, he would unzip it, and he bought like the small little, it was a small little tag that will go on your keychain, and it said Cameras R Us. And one day he annoyed me so much because I was on the couch. I didn't have a bedroom. I was on the couch, and he took the bookshelf that was right by me and put, like how people have like that kind of like a shrine kind of situation. I don't like to refer to it as a shrine because then people would get like, oh, well, you're not Christian and it's devil worshiping or ideology and blah, 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 blah. No. So he put up one of the paintings that dealt with Cameras R Us. And I'm like, bro, you know how I feel about this. Why would you put that right here where I have to see it all the time? Why wouldn't you just put it in your room or whatever? Well, I pay the rent here. I do what I want. Okay. So he then goes and puts another one right above where I sleep. Okay, he kept trying me. Next thing you know, he got the license plate on the car. He was getting bigger and bolder as nobody ever called him out on it. So one day we're on campus and I don't even remember what he did to me. He angered me. He made me mad, talking crap. I think he challenged me on like some knowledge on campus. So I was like, okay. I happened to be leaving the library, and up was walking a member of Cameras R Us. One that I know. This is literally the closest person that I know in Cameras R Us. So I said, hey, Cameras R Us, you know what? My roommate here is one of your brothers. Let me introduce you. And so they shake hands. I said, no. You don't understand what I'm saying. He's your brother from Cameras R Us. Y'all didn't, grip. So he talks to him, and I see my friend from Cameras R Us, like his head turned, like wait, something was off. He did it as smooth as he could, to not like make it weird. So, my friend from Cameras R Us looked at me, and I just had a little grin. I was like, "Hey, that's your brother. I'm walking away." I did. I walked away. So they exchanged numbers, whatever. And as I want to say, over the next 2 or 3 weeks, there was a lot of messaging apparently back and forth, to verify, hey, where you from? When did you cross? Blah blah blah. And they would invite him out to come and hang out, at the frat house and cook out, whatever special event. Come on, come meet the bros, blah blah blah. You from this very close to us school, the closest one to us, period. Come meet the rest of the brothers, So he's like, well, I'm busy today. I got to do this. I got to find, I can't make it. So eventually, I guess it warmed down. I guess he figured that everything was just fine. Because it had been so long. So they was like, I think one of them was in our neighborhood. That might have been what it was, in the apartment complex. And he's like, hey, we got a barbecue today. Come on out. Come kick it. And so he was like, you know what? All right, spade. Let's do that. We're going to go to this little cookout. He turns to me and says, you know what? You got to come. I'm like, I don't want to go. He's like, no, you got to come. You got to go. I don't want to go. He's like, well, look, I'm not going if you don't go. And I turned and I looked at the wall and I saw the Cameras R Us picture. I looked at the bookshelf, Cameras R Us, and the flame, the candles and the colors. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll go. I'll go. I want to see you have fun with your brothers. So we get in the car and we go. We get there, and as we pull up, there's a member of Cameras R Us sitting there in the driveway. He's sitting on the back of a car. I don't think I'll ever forget this. And he just had this look on his face like he was mad at the world. And so we get out the car, and I greet him because I know him. I know who he is. Like, hey, how you doing? How you been? How your mama doing? All that. He's like, he gives a basic nod. And he speaks to me. He's like, y'all go on in. We still getting set up. So we go in, and I look around. It's a somewhat dark house. They ain't really got on lights, and there's like curtains, sheets over the windows, so you don't see out, see in. I mean, that's how it normally looks. So it's a dark house, like I said. And so it's nothing but the members of the organization there. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. About a week prior to this, he invited a sweetheart. Technically, he invited two sweethearts of Cameras R Us to the house to him come hang out. And they came. And he told them, "Yo, they was like, what is Cameras R Us doing all up on the wall and stuff in here?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a member of Cameras R of Cameras R Us." And they was like, "Oh, for real?" They're like, "Yeah, cool." And so the night went on. So that's important for the story. So now we're like a week or so later. We're at the house, and they're just sitting around chilling, and I look at the wall. A lot of my work is on the wall, stuff that I did for Cameras R Us, like the posters I made, and the photography of the different events and stuff. Like literally, it's like I am their interior decorator as far as art goes. Everything on the wall is by me. I was proud. Like, yeah, I did that. I don't recall a single thing on the wall that was not by me. That's right. So, again, it's business. So, we're sitting there, and again, the one that I'm the closest to, actually, he got up and he went to the back. So the one of the other guys is like I'd say the second closest to me, that like as far as being friends. He turns to me. He's like, he perping, right? I was like, yeah, I figured that. He was like, you know how this goes, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, you sure you want to be here for that? No, I do not. So I say, you know what? I will see y'all later. I need to go to campus to get a couple of shots because I got my camera with me. So like, I need to go to campus and get a couple of shots. So my roommate looks at me like a lost puppy. Like, you leaving me? Like, yes, I am. But I'll be back. 30 minutes. So I leave. I don't even look back. I don't wait for nobody to say nothing. I'm out the door. I am gone. Like, how to say it, bat out of hell? So I walk around. I'm looking to see if there's anything to take some photos of. I didn't see anything worth it. I come back, and his car is gone. I'm like, where'd he go? He done left me here? And the one who was on in the driveway looking mad at the world was sitting there still looking mad at the world, but he's flexing his hands like, why it was good. And he's like, oh, he left, he hauled ass. Was like, he got called out for perping. And like, they went on to tell me the story, like, hey, we asked them to verify who he was, and nothing lined up. He claimed to be from not just a member of the organization, but from the closest location possible to where we were. If you don't think that you could be verified in a heartbeat, even this is before internet is the way that we have it right now. So all it really takes is a phone call. But you got to figure, people and organizations, they know each other. They road trip. They see each other. They spend time with each other at different schools. They go to district meetings, and you it was sad. So they was like, hey, tell me about XYZ. Tell me about being founded in Japan. They're like, oh well, what do you want me to tell you about it? You tell me what I'm supposed to tell you about being founded in Japan. And it's some of them were able to laugh as they were telling me what happened, and they was like, look, they said, look, we know that you fake claiming that you perping. Here's what we do. We're gonna tell you to go ahead and leave, and we recommend if you like the frat, if you love the bros, if you want to be one of us, then you need to do it the proper way. Go ahead and try to see about putting in that paperwork and earn it the right way. Don't fake claim it. And he just would not get up and leave it at that. He was like, no, I really am. Ask me something else. They're like, look, we already know you're not. We called down and verified that they know of you, that they have heard rumors about you doing this stuff before. And the sweetheart member had also was like, yeah, claimed to be to me. So it was, I'm just leave it at, it was not a good situation. I moved out actually, like that night. I was like, okay, I'm out. I can't. You didn't get called out. You've been lying, and I moved out. And there was some drama that happened, but that's not for this story. I did, because there were some legal issues that he himself got into. Yeah, it was a time. I just want to say, perping is the dumbest thing you can do. And people are like, oh, well, you ain't gonna put your hands on me. You ain't gonna do this and you ain't gonna do that. They may not, for whatever you're perping. But what are you gonna do if they do? Think about that. You perp, you claim to be a part of something that in the past, we'll say, people risk their life for, to earn. And you just want to walk up and say, hey, I bought a shirt. I'm a member too. You think that goes over well? You think that's something that is just, I'm okay with that. I don't think so. In my organizations, I don't think so. So, yeah, it's a time. I just really am baffled at the idea of perps and what they try to do and why. It's truly, truly, truly baffling. And I'm not sure if they're aware of this, but if you're going to perp, you should be aware that there is entire databases with all the information that can be gathered on a perp. Location. I mean, come on, think about it. You're perping, and if you're perping, chances are you're posting it online. If you're posting it online, that means you're using social media. Your social media usually tell who you are, where you're from, who your friends are. 1 + 1 equals. I don't understand. I think that's what they see. 1 + 1 equals, like, that's their version of two. I see three, but you don't see that much. So it's two, but I see three. So that's you don't add that up right. You want to perp and you want to claim something, and you want to post pictures of you in these items and throwing up signs and whatnot of stuff you never earned and don't know the first thing about. Whereas there are people, according to the news, who I'm just leaving it at that. It's just it's baffling. It's mind-boggling. If all the energy, effort, and money that you put into perping, why not try to join for real? Before you ever try to perp, don't try to perp and then join. That's probably not going to end that well either. But that's perping. I've come across people perping even non Greek organizations, people perping um, people perping things that it's beyond evident that you're perping. The one that makes it funnier to me though is when the person claims to be a member of an organization, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. They claim to have been a member of an organization, and then that's their reason that they don't have to answer any questions of verifying. They say, look, I'm not going to tell you nothing about it because I don't recognize it anymore. I dropped it, blah, 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 or I left it, blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, so this is what they're all about. This is what they do. This is their information. But don't ask me anything specific that could prove that I really am. I'm just going to spout stuff I read on the internet or heard in hearsay, and you're supposed to take that. I met a guy who claimed to be part of one of my organizations, and he didn't know that I was a member, that I was a brother, you know. And he was just going in. He was talking to somebody else in front of me. He was just going in. I just sat back and listened for a while before I let myself be known. Yeah, yeah. So, advisory, I don't recommend you perp. I don't recommend that you even imply that you're a member of something that you're not. It just doesn't, it's not worth it. I can assure you, you should not do that. You're not going to get whatever benefits or it, don't get me wrong, I have seen or heard stories of people perping and use that as like clout to make something happen, to move something that would not have been movable otherwise. But I wouldn't risk it. You're grown. You're gonna do what you want. I just don't recommend you do it. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video. I have to debate on whether or not I do want to do the third one for tonight. Oh, I do want to point out that I am going to be, already told you, the Patreon situation. That'll be down below. Like, comment, subscribe, of course. If you feel like you know or heard of stories, rumors, whatever the case may be, other hypothetical situations of people who perped an organization or talked about or wanted to perp an organization, put it in the comments down below. You can even message me direct, but I would prefer the comments down below. Thumbs up or thumbs down, however you see fit. And I want y'all to have a great day, great night, and see you again.